Whether we're staying at home or traveling during the summer and fall months, it is important to give our pets the correct care that they need. Pet advocate and Puppy Bowl referee Dan Schachner is here to discuss pet care and safety tips. Hi, Dan.
Good morning, Elsa. How you doing?
I'm happy to have you here. So I want to start out by asking, cleaning up after pets, we know it can be tedious. What tips do you have for making that task just a little bit easier?
Yeah, one of the silver linings to everybody being home these last 6 months or so is that there has been a huge uptick in adoption of puppies. So while that's great and we love puppies and kittens getting adopted, it's created a lot more messes in homes across the country. We're a foster family here, so we foster in dogs and cats all the time, especially puppies. So in my household, we're constantly getting in new puppies. We have a little bit of experience as to what to do. My number one tip would be roll up those rugs. Make sure that you have nice clean floors because you never know where those accidents might happen. And even if you have an older dog, it's good for there to be some bare floor around there just in case. Second, make sure you have a nice clear pathway from where your dog is, if they're in a crate or in a doggy bed or wherever they hang out, to the outside so they know exactly where to go and have no obstacles in their way. And then the other thing is to have great cleaning supplies. I only like to work with products that I personally use and love. And having two small kids, the Black & Decker Spill Buster has been terrific, not just for pet messes, but for kid messes. It's a wet, dry, cordless vac. It's the spill cleaner. It's a spot cleaner. It's got a little scrub brush on it. It's extremely powerful, and it has been a godsend for our family, especially this summer. In the summertime, dogs are coming in and out of the house a little bit more often, kids too, than they would in the colder months. Again, depending on where you are across the country. You guys are in Baltimore, we're here in New York. So, we know our winters, the dogs tend to be inside a little bit more. And yes, you can get some snow, but in the summertime, you can get mud, you can get grass, who knows what else you can get being brought inside your house. So something like the Spill Buster has been terrific, and I really recommend you try that out. Make sure you have an army of cleaning supplies, though, on hand. And some of the all-natural pet supplies that work towards cleaning are the way to go. So I recommend you do that as well. And that's the key thing. Just make sure that you're on top of it and you set up good habits, good routines for your dogs so you can keep those messes to a minimum.
And do you recommend giving pets treats, or are we just spoiling them?
I don't think we're spoiling them. I mean, one of the reasons we have dogs is to spoil them on some level, right? But 70%, there was a recent survey, 70% of pet parents out there want the treats that they give their dogs to have some health benefits. We don't just want to give them empty calories, right? So I happen to try this summer and love and want to promote the Phelps Wellness Collection. It's a collection of 6 different treats. They're available for really whatever problem your dog might have. Squirrel that you're seeing right now is really good for brain health. It's got DHA and ginkgo biloba. You've got Hip Hip Hooray, which has got glucosamine, which is great for joints, inflammation, that sort of stuff. Gut Check is good for your tummy because it's got probiotics. But really, there's something for everybody, every type of dog that's out there. They're healthy. They're all natural. They've got great value, and they're available almost anywhere. I like them because they're a treat, but they've got that health value to them. And that's really important, that we're not just filling our dogs with these empty calories, that when we give them a treat, it has some nutritional value as well.
And what recommendations do you have for those looking to travel with their pet?
Yes, obviously we're not doing a lot of flying these days, but if you need to fly, if you're going to fly, you can do it safely. Just make sure that you call the airline ahead of time and see what restrictions or fees may be associated with bringing your pet along to the airport. Budget in extra time if you're going to fly with your dog. Same goes for a train. Now, if you're driving, which is what most of us are going to be doing this summer, the key thing is to also budget a little bit of extra time on that road trip. If it's a 4-hour road trip, give yourself 4.5 hours, maybe even 5, because you're going to stop a little bit more frequently. Now, your dog is not going to be asking necessarily to stop more frequently, but they're going to appreciate it when you do. Dogs, even though they may be used to sitting around the house, they may not be used to sitting in a car for a long period of time. So it's important to build in those breaks, not just so that they can go to the bathroom, but also so they can stretch their legs a little bit and get a change of scenery. And it's good for them and good for you in general to have that break. Finally, when it comes to rolling down the windows, we all love the look, the feel, the notion of a dog sticking its window out, tongue wagging, and wind going through their hair. just do it safely and don't do it for too long, because debris can fly into a dog's mouth. And if they're not harnessed correctly, which I recommend you do, harness your dogs properly, there can be some extra safety issues there. So try to keep that stuff to a minimum. And finally, the last thing, I probably don't need to say this because most of America has finally turned the tide and is learning here. Don't leave your dog in a hot car locked in the summertime.
And where can viewers go to get more information?
Yeah, I've got all these tips and all these products up on betterstuffforlife.com. We put everything in one spot for you. It's called betterstuffforlife.com.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you being here. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.